Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with number 3 in our ongoing series of smart programming concepts, a celebration of albums that have interesting repertoire, intelligently presented, well thought out, all those good things which are gone, totally gone, going, history. What's the matter, sweetie? Hello. Yes, and Finster's over here to help us. Wait a minute. Let's see if we can bring her into this production. Oh, I've got so many CDs sitting here, so much stuff. Oh, yes. Hello. Hi. I know. Hi. She's so much fun. Yeah. Okay. So Finster's gonna lend a hand here. And you ready to see? Want to see what we have? Are you curious? Yes. Ancient Airs and Dances by Paul Odette. Probably the greatest lute record ever made. This is simply amazing in so many different respects. Let me try and break this down for you. We know the Ancient Airs and Dances because they are 3 suites of pieces for chamber orchestra composed by Respighi. And they're beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Everybody loves them, right? Yes, everybody loves them. And, we know that he arranged these suites from earlier, basically, lute music. I mean, the original title was Ancient Airs and Dances for Lute, but we take that out when we listen to the Respighi because there's no lute. So I'm like, there's no lute. So, what's the point? So anyway, so what happens? This record presents in their original form the lute pieces, songs, and dances drawn upon by Respighi in his 3 well-known suites for orchestra. And what Paul Odette has done, along with Roger's Covey-Crump, tenor, and John Holloway, violin, and Nigel North, bass lute, and Crystal Thielman, bass viol, is go back to all of the original sources and gather them together in 23, count it, 23 fun-filled tracks. And here it is. Here's the result. All the music that Respighi used in his suites. And it's a wonderful variety of stuff because, as they suggest, there are songs, there are dances, lute pieces, for different ensembles. And it's just, the music is gorgeous, delightful, wonderful, wonderful music. And the thing that's so cool about it is that what Paul Odette and his crew have done is not present these things in suite form, not done them exactly the way Respighi did them, but rather do them in a way which makes for absolutely fabulous continuous listening as a program in its own right, so that you can enjoy this for what it is, and what it is just marvelous. But then you can go and listen to the Respighi and you'll hear all the tunes arranged as Respighi arranged them. It is one of the most fantastic programs. I mean, why it took so long for anyone to do it, I don't know. Now, this is out of print, of course, on Hyperion. Why should they keep it in print? Seriously. And, you can still find it. You can find it. But, one of the problems with early music generally, really early music, charming though much of it is that it's not organized in ways so as to suggest, coherent albums. Often as not, they're not like big, long pieces. They're tiny little sniglets, especially instrumental music from this period, from the, 16th, 17th centuries. It's usually pretty short. They're little short, little bitlets. And then in addition to that, the brevity of the whole thing, you have to have a reason to collect it and put it together, and then nobody's going to know anything about it because we haven't heard of the composers. Half of them are anonymous anyway. And yes, there's some anonymous ones here. And, people don't exactly go to sleep thinking, gee, I really want to listen to something by Santino Garci da Parma or Ludovico Roncalli. You don't. So the names aren't familiar. And the performers on early instruments, Paul Odette, wonderful though he is, I mean, and a name in his field, he's not Pavarotti. People don't know who they are. I mean, how do you put together an album of this early music that's really going to sell the product and interest people? Because it's a wonderful repertoire. It's not that the music isn't marvelous. It's that there has to be a way to package it and present it. And this is one of the best ways I have ever seen, because so many people do know the ancient airs and dances. What are you snacking on? Hmm? So, yeah, there we go. Hi. Oh, it's so cute. So, when I got this, when this came out, I remember the LP. Originally, it was an LP, and what are you chewing on? Originally, it was an LP, and I was just so thrilled to get it. Not only because I was incredibly interested in the source material for Respighi's three suites, but also because I really thought it was so smart. And so it remains. There aren't that many opportunities to do something like this. Somebody could do it with, for example, with Stravinsky's Pulcinella. I mean, there was a little tiny bit of that. Christopher Hogwood did a recording of Pulcinella with the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra that had some of the original pieces sort of as an appendix. But that's different. Pulcinella mostly consists of trio sonatas by Domenico Gallo, who no one's ever heard of except for those trio sonatas. And those have been recorded separately without any mention of Pulcinella. So you can sort of assemble some of the stuff together. But this is a coherent, beautiful program all by itself. Even if we'd never heard of Respighi, but the fact that we have, and the fact that Respighi is out there to try and create interest, opens the door to an entirely new group of listeners outside of the early music lute ghetto. Yes, there is an early music lute ghetto. I don't recommend that you spend a lot of time there because it is niche. Very, very nichey. It's a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. But this is the most wonderful, wonderful entree into that world, and you can explore it at your leisure thereafter. And start collecting Simone Molinaro and Anonymous and Bernardo Giannoncelli and all of these people. But in the meantime, if you're not interested in that, you've got this, and you listen to this, and you listen to the Respighi, and it's just. It's an education all by itself in the most joyful possible way. So there it is, a really smart programming concept. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.